Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarty. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we are. Well, folks, how are you doing? I just want to say straight off the bat, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing and liking. It really, really helps. Thank you so much. And everyone from all of the different places that came to join my channel. I really appreciate you, and I want to say a special thanks to Todd and Carrie Van Swearingen. They've helped me out a lot. They've donated, and they've also helped me to get in touch with someone that's going to be on the show soon, and we'll make that announcement a little bit later. And I also want to thank Lynn W. from New York for her contribution. Thank you so very much. It's very much appreciated. And if you're looking for a way to help out the channel here, my PayPal is below. Also, I have shirts, and this is one of my shirts I want to show you right now. It's, yes, the best is yet to come. Trump coming out of the Q+. So that's always kind of fun. Now, today, something happened, a terrible purge on YouTube. So many people lost their shows, and it's just horrifying. And here is just a list of some of them. Red Pill 78, Praying Medic, Joe M, iPot, X22 Report, Edge of Wonder, SGT Report, Space Shot 76, Woke Societies, Amazing Polly, Truth and Art TV, Patriots Soapbox, Dustin Nemos, In the Matrix, And We Know, Stopping Me, Just Informed Talk, and Sarah Westall. All of these great channels that were getting more views than the mainstream media and really changing a lot of minds and making patriots out of slumbering normies. And that's why they did it. But they are going to have to answer now. It looks like they're going to be they've been subpoenaed. Both Jack from Twitter and Mr. Zuck at Facebook have been subpoenaed, looks like. Ted Cruz is one of the ones behind it, and we're going to see some justice. Because this, my friends, is election interference. They're trying to keep stories from breaking. It's October. There's October surprises. And Hunter Biden. I'm very worried about Hunter Biden's safety. He may take his own life, or his life may be taken to cause sympathy for Sleepy Joe. Let's pray for this poor man. And I got to tell you, folks, with the revelations from Hunter Biden that are coming out, also SEAL Team 6, all of this information, the mainstream media and the controlling people that want to control the narrative, they just are freaking out. And they made a big mistake. And now I think we might have freedom of speech online, finally, hopefully. I think they should make YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter public utilities. And with just a few guidelines that are clearly marked, not just our community guidelines, standards have been, some very basic things. And then other than that, then you can say whatever you want. That's what needs to happen. That's my opinion. And I hope that does happen. That would be fantastic. So, well, we'll see where that goes. Trump 2020. But I also want to talk to you about a case back from 2006, 2007. It's the California dragonfly drones. You might remember these. They were these crazy, strange craft, very clear photographs taken by some people and put online. And it caused a stir. And then this fellow comes out, calling himself Isaac, claims he worked in Palo Alto, California, for the CARET project, CARET, C-A-R-E-T, which stands for Commercial Applications Research for Extraterrestrial Technologies. And the group was called PACL, which is the Palo Alto CARET Laboratory. And Isaac, which is not his real name, he goes into very large detail. Now, I'll put in the description box a PDF with all the files so you can see all the stuff yourself, and you can read about the debunking that started to try to happen, and Isaac answers the debunkers. You can't debunk this one. There's too much evidence. And what he released, he was working there, and they had armed guards. They had machine guns, and he was from the civilian side. And this was the government, the secret government, wasn't getting anywhere on this technology. They needed to bring in people from Silicon Valley. So this gentleman, Isaac, and many other people came to work for the CARET project, and they were told it's extraterrestrial technology, and they're basically trying to reverse engineer it. Isaac's job was to help to figure out the language, the symbols and the hieroglyphs that are on the bottom of the craft. And he describes that it's not really a language. It's more like an active computer program. And so you'll see these pictures. I have them here of the craft, very clear pictures. And they're very strange looking. But in the materials that Isaac releases, there's parts. Now, he worked there in 1986, 84 through 87 at the Palo Alto CARET Laboratory, PACL. And so he never saw one of these craft flying while he was there. They were still trying to figure this whole thing out back then. But he did see component parts that they were starting to build, or either parts of the alien craft or parts that they were manufacturing themselves. And he includes pictures, and you'll see those here. There's an anti-gravity generator that when it's activated, these two half-circle pieces will fly up and be in a stationary position, held in place magnetically by this, what's printed on them. It's like magic. It's amazing technology. And it's one of the cases I've always really liked. And you might have noticed above my head here, that is one of the designs that is in this, and it's like art. It looks like art, but it's very complex. He said that all the physicists, mathematicians, and engineers had to completely scrap what they knew and totally relearn because this stuff was so out there. It was, very hard to grasp. They had to use supercomputers, and back in the mid 80s, supercomputers were not that quick. And so it took a long time to crunch the numbers to figure out what all these symbols were and what they did, what their functionality was. But this is a very important case because we have hard evidence. He got up into upper management, Isaac, and he wasn't watched as closely as the underlings. So he took advantage of that. He knew that he was going to do something with this information. He wanted some evidence. So he snuck out, stacks of these papers in his under his shirt and under his belt. And he found out the more papers he snuck out, the less it would crinkle. So he got a lot of these materials out. And he only has shown publicly a small fraction of those documents. And he may release them at some time in the future. We don't know. But what he did release is enough to prove his case that, yes, these are manufactured here, but using alien technology, reverse engineered alien technology. Now, one of the pictures you can see, the craft is above a power line. Now, a very smart researcher found a patent by a California company, an energy company, for a cloaked, invisible craft, anti-gravity craft that would fly above the power lines to find areas that need repair. And so Isaac describes that these things are normally invisible. But some other technology that's happening in the area, and there are a lot of high-tech experimental things going on in that area in Silicon Valley, near Palo Alto, that sometimes they become visible and they were photographed. So it's this one has always fascinated me. Now, these craft are drones. They're not occupied by anybody. They're automatic, and they're built with alien technology. So take a look at these documents. Read them. It's so fascinating. And if you read what he says and how he describes all this and how he describes when they first told him and a whole room of people that this is alien technology, he was like looking around going, oh my gosh. Oh my, like a worldview changing moment for everybody in that room that you could never take back. And he was very fascinated by this, also very frustrated because they were trying to keep such a tight lid on it. They couldn't talk to other people about this. And science works best when you have collaboration. If you just have a small group of people working on something, you might not figure everything out. So that's why he wanted to release this. And he knew that he was going to when he was working there. At some point, he wanted to release some of this information. So that's why he did. And it's crazy. It's crazy that they would keep it secret from us. But it is being utilized. Commercial applications, research for extraterrestrial technology. That's CARET. And that was this program. And that's all this documentation shows. It's incredible. A lot of people said in the past that, oh, it's been debunked. It has not been debunked. Not at all. No. No sirree, sir. Has not been debunked at all. And the evidence that Isaac puts forward is very revealing. Please read it, digest it, share this to anyone that likes this kind of stuff. We should be a lot more advanced than we are, and we will be when we get full disclosure. Full disclosure, that's what we're going for. We don't want this limited hangout, like the Tom DeLonge limited hangout disclosure. We want full disclosure. And, you know, this case, they've been working on this stuff since the mid-'80s in the private sector, but how many years before that just in the military, secret military? It needs to come out. They're already using it and it's in patents. You can find this stuff. Let's just spread the word, and they won't have any choice. They'll have to let it all out. And maybe Isaac will release the rest of his information to fill in the blanks and to help us out. Another thing that the debunkers tried to say was the graphics like this are so fine and so detailed that at that time in the mid-'80s there wasn't programs, art programs, to allow that. But what they are not understanding is the government has things that the people don't have for decades. Isaac even talks about back in the 60s, they had a computer in the 60s where you could take a light pen and draw something on the screen and then rotate it and add to it. So they had that back in the 60s. And they had very good programs that the public didn't see for many, many decades. So that argument was put to rest very quickly by Isaac. Well, friends, that's about it for this time. We got to keep on fighting, digital soldiers, or we go one, we go all. I want to thank Thomas at True Reporting and Red Pill 78 and all the other digital soldiers that have done such great jobs. You can find them. I'll put a little list here where you can find all these people now that their channels are gone. And we got to support these people. They are great, great researchers, and it's great news. But we're going to win. The truth always comes out. Yes, truth wins. God wins. Where we go one, we go all. Keep looking up. Keep reaching for the stars. And we'll see you next time out on the web. Peace in. Thank you.